concept of God in Hinduism. The hymns of Vedas and the other holy scriptures of Hinduism describe clearly that essence of all life is God, one indwelling light that prevails at the heart of entire creation, and to live in harmony with that is dharma of mankind. Everything in macrocosm as well as in microcosm is energized by the cosmic energy, the Supreme Parabrahmn, the pure consciousness that manifests as life force behind everything and is visualized as bright flame in deep meditation. The first hymn of Rig Veda starts with the adoration of Agni, the fire god, as an embodiment of Supreme Parabrahmn. All the traditional Vedic rituals are performed around the ceremonial fire, the pure luminous light, the personification of the Supreme Lord Himself. There are many hymns in ancient scriptures where Shiv Lingam or Jyotirlingam has been identified with Agni, the bright flame, the cosmic energy, conceived as an element of life force as well as destruction. The glorious form of Jyotirlingam stands out in all majesty. The pure consciousness out of formlessness emerges in the form of bright flame, declaring that there is nothing beside the omniscience of the Supreme Soul. The entire universe is rooted in Parabrahmn, non-local spiritual domain, from where the information and energy emerge, creating millions of forms and names in space and time. Hindu trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, are the three expressive aspects of Supreme Parabrahmn. Lord Brahma, as distinct from Supreme Parabrahmn, is the creator. Lord Vishnu, the sustainer, the great organizing intelligence, and Maheshwara, the annihilator. If we look closely at Hindu Trinity, we clearly see three identical faces of divine, power projections of pure consciousness. All the deities may appear to be independent. In fact, they are the different facets of the pure consciousness. Omniscience of the Supreme Parabrahmn is the only truth that prevails at the heart of entire creation. Vedic sages have declared jubilantly, Ekam Sadvipra Bahuda Vadanti. Truth is one. Sages and mystics call it by various names. Hindu gods and goddesses are the personification of the ultimate infinite supreme reality, answering and satisfying the devotees, those who seek help with prayers and meditation in order to stay aligned with the source and receive guidance to improve the quality of life. For example, worship of Lord Vishnu initiates people to live a life with the spirit of yajna, which conveys the ideal of mutual interdependence, continuity, and the survival of creation. Helping each other selflessly and living in peace and harmony with our own inner self with other people in society and with nature. The divine consort of Lord Vishnu is Shri Lakshmi, who guides people for making money by appropriate means and also making the appropriate use of money while keeping in mind the global welfare. The hymns recited during the worship literally means, "May the money float in hands of wise and virtuous, helpful in providing good education, well-equipped labs, libraries, proper medical care, hospitalization, and businesses conducive to the proper growth of society." Similarly, the worship of Lord Shiva, in which the water is offered on the topmost part of Shiv Lingam, creates a remarkable harmony at the physical, psychological, and spiritual levels of consciousness. While hands pour the water, the chanting of hymns guide the mind to remain absorbed in the bliss of divine love. Gradually, the devotee enters into ecstatic trance, and the inner alignment is perceived in meditative unity. It is the subjective experience of visualizing Jyotirlinga, the ball of radiance, and the realization of truth that I am created by the light of the Self, sustained by the light of the Self. I am indeed that light of the Self. Tvat-tvamasi, I am that. The blessed experience of being ageless, timeless, and immortal. In worship of Lord Ganesha, which forms an important part of almost all the Hindu rituals, the devotee seeks blessing for inner integrity, heightened intuition, clarity of vision, purity of mind and intellect. Gana means the chief elements that constitute the body of the universe, and Ish means that controls the combined movement of every little atom, every little molecule, and keeps the wheel of creation in motion. The large ears indicate the intelligent listening, and the trunk coming down from the forehead indicates the alignment of mind, body, and spirit between the eyebrows, the third eye, or the eye of intuition, Agna Chakra, the command center. The icon of Shri Ganesha is a geometrical figure created to produce a profound and lasting spiritual experience, which liberates the individual from the lingering shadows of conditioned behavior and gradually aligns with the source. Goddess Saraswati, the divine consort of Brahma, is worshipped as the embodiment of knowledge, wisdom, purity, and serenity. The goddess Saraswati is also addressed as a Jnana Shakti, means the expressive aspect of divine potency that enriches our lives with knowledge of material world as well as the higher mysteries of soul. Mother Durga, the personification of the totality of the powers of Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, is worshipped for annihilation of negative tendencies. The consort of Kala, the all-devouring time, is Kali, another aspect of divine potency of Supreme Parabrahmn. Mother Kali is worshipped for victory over time and the ability to live in the tissue of the present moment. The goddess Parvati, the divine consort of Shiva, is worshipped for alignment with Para Shakti, that is holding everything together and is reflected through everything. In worship of Mother Parvati, the individual is introduced to his inherent potentials and blessed with deep physiological rest, inner peace, and yogic unity in transcendence. In some Hindu temples, there is also a shrine of Bhudevi, the goddess Mother Earth, where the devotee seeks blessings to be respectful to the reservoirs of earth and use everything with sense of responsibility. There are hundreds of hymns in Vedas addressed to Mother Earth, in which the devotee calls upon the divine energy that aids the earth evolution and helps balance the impact of human life. Om Dhara Dharaye Namah. In ritualistic Hindu worship, the devotee offers flowers, leaves, water, and food with chanting of mantras from the holy scriptures, which really creates remarkable unity of mind, body, and spirit. The food offered to God with prayer is purified because of the positive energy created during the worship. It's called prasad and is meant to be shared so that everyone is blessed with purity of thoughts, words, and deeds. All the Hindu gods and goddesses are the personification of a certain type of energy enclosed in the word, which is repeated in prayers while addressing the deity with purity of mind. In prayers and meditative unity with the deity, the aspirant is introduced to his own inherent potential and guided to make the best use while keeping in mind the global welfare. The shrines become very powerful because of the constant repetition of deity mantra recited millions of times in prayer. The moment we enter the holy shrine, we feel engulfed with collective spiritual energy at the holy sanctuary. Beside the worship of Hindu trinity and other gods and goddesses, the worship of 9 celestial bodies known as Navgraha also forms an important part of the rituals performed on special occasions. In most of the Hindu temples, there is generally a shrine of 9 celestial bodies known as Navgraha Mandala, where people seek alignment with the cosmic body with special hymns describing the connection of energies between the human body and the celestial body. For example, the 9 parts of DNA have their counterparts in the 9 heavenly bodies. DNA revolves around hydrogen bonds, which corresponds to sun god, the giver of life on planet. Phosphate corresponds to moon, cytosine to Mars, sugar to Mercury, guanine to Jupiter, thymine to Venus, adenine to Saturn, and the enzymes within the DNA to Rahu and Ketu. although it is very difficult to trace back. When the idol worship was introduced in the ritualistic worship of Hindu families, but it became very popular and enjoyable in due course of time. The reason, because human mind in general needs some kind of expression of the omniscient, inexplicable as Ishta Deva or chosen deity in order to concentrate and develop the intimate personal bond with God. In order to experience the absolute truth, which is beyond the reach of sensory perceptions, either the person has to transcend above the finite to experience the infinite, or to bring the infinite to the level of finite perception in some form or shape. There have been always two types of devotees, worshipping God with form and shape or without form and attributes. But they all know they are pursuing the same goal, alignment or anchorage with the source. Lord Krishna has made it very clear in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, that in course of spiritual progress, from Saguna to Nirguna means God with form and without form. An inspired devotee is definitely blessed with personal experience of Holy Communion. In this reference, there is a very interesting story in our Puranas. Once Lord Rama, the God incarnate, asked his great devotee Hanuman, "O son, tell me what type of relationship you hold for me. How do you worship? How do you meditate?" Shri Hanuman replied, "O Rama, sometime I look upon you as Purna, means undivided one. The other moment I feel you are divided, reflecting through everything and everybody. And I look upon myself as a fragment of you. Yet another time, in spiritual intimacy, I feel you are my best friend, my divine master, and I am here to serve you. When, however, I am blessed with inner unity in deep meditation, I feel I am thou, and thou art I. Tvat-tvamasi. Tvat-tvamasi is one of the 4 key statements described in Vedas about the concept of God. Aham Brahmasmi from Yajurveda means I am the totality, I am Brahman. Tvat-tvamasi from Samveda, meaning I am that, I am beyond mind, body and conditioned spirit. I am the witness of all. Aham Atma Brahman from Atharvaveda means my inner self is Brahman. Prajnanam Brahman from Rigveda means the pure consciousness is Brahman. Although each individual soul is potentially divine and eligible for divine status, but the realization of the presence of Supreme Lord beyond the masks of conditioned self is experienced by the degree of self-awareness and personal alignment to the source of life. Although God is equally present everywhere, He is not equally manifest in everything every place or every person. In this reference, Swami Bhaskarananda gives a very good example. He says, let us take 4 light bulbs, 100 watts each. If turned on, each one will give the same amount of light. Let us now cover the first bulb with 1 layer of paper, and the second with 2 layers, the third with 3 layers, and leave the 4th uncovered. When we turn the bulbs on, they will not give the same amount of light, and yet it can't be denied that the same amount of light is present in each one of them. Similarly, God is equally present everywhere, but not equally manifest. His manifestation is the greatest in God incarnates, at the holy shrines, and next in spiritually illumined souls. Vedic literature asserts the inherently divine nature of man and provides means and methods to manifest this divinity. The individualized soul, or Jivatma, is eternally a part of the cosmic soul, Paramatma. The experience of alienation occurs because of the masks of the conditioned self. When the individual goes in yogic unity, beyond the boundaries of mind and body, the embodied soul moves step by step towards its true identity. From Jivatma, means conditioned soul, to Mahatma, means the pure individual soul, and eventually to Paramatma, the God incarnate, or Bhagwan, means the one who is perennially aligned with the Supreme Parabrahmn, the cosmic soul. It is the experience of gradually being restored to the wholeness of the Supreme Soul and freedom from the masks of conditioned self, free at last. It is being awakened to one's own completeness. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. I am the totality. The state of infinite bliss, mukti, moksha, or nirvana. Taittiriya Upanishad explains this beautifully. Bliss is Brahman. All the beings are born from bliss, sustained by the bliss, and into the bliss they enter again. There is also another mantra in Veda that explains the similar concept. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purna Udachyate Purnasyai Purna Adai Purna Eva Avashishyate. Means this is pure, that is pure. This is wholeness, that is wholeness. Even when wholeness comes out of wholeness, what is left behind is wholeness. Everything in macrocosm as well as in microcosm declares the wholeness of Supreme Parabrahmn. A seed becomes a tree and generates thousands of seeds. Each seed from the tree is complete in itself and has the potential to become a tree again. Similarly, in our body, when one cell splits into two, nothing is lost. Each cell is complete in itself. The universe emerges out of wholeness, sustained by the wholeness, and into the wholeness it goes back again. Hinduism believes that the supreme power that prevails at the substratum of the universe also manifests as God incarnate, Paramatma or Bhagwan. God incarnate, although appears to be an ordinary human being, he remains rooted in transcendental self. His body is the cosmic body, and his mind is the cosmic mind. The Supreme Soul incarnates to make people realize that each and every human being is an eligible candidate for the divine status. He guides people by the example of his own personal life. God incarnate comes down to the level of human being in order to educate them into the graciousness of human life. He shows his personal compassion for people and initiates them into the realization of their inherent potential. As we notice in Bhagavad Gita, the God incarnate, Lord Krishna, enlightens Arjuna about his inherent divinity and educates him about the secret of living in the consciousness of the soul. Throughout the dialogue, Shri Krishna repeats, "O Arjuna, arise, awake, and achieve which is yours." He explains clearly that accepting the presence of divine is one thing, but accepting the consciousness of the presence of divine is quite another. Living in the awareness of divine creates anchorage with the higher self and helps to peel off the masks of conditioned behavior. That's why he repeats again and again, "O Arjuna, be a yogi. Stay aligned with the source to achieve the very best in human life." He also tells Arjuna, although the supreme consciousness, the essence of life, resides in each and every molecule of the body, but can be intimated and experienced only at the shrine of heart. Contemplation at the heart center has been highly recommended in almost all the religious traditions of the world. It is at the shrine of heart where love for God is awakened and the presence of the divine is personally experienced. There are some beautiful lines from Gitanjali by Rabindranath Tagore. The most distant course comes nearest to thyself, and that training is the most intricate, which leads to the utter simplicity of a tune. The traveler has to knock at every alien door to come to his own, and one has to wander through all the outer worlds to reach the innermost shrine at the end. My eyes strayed far and wide before I shut them and said, "Here art thou." The question and the cry, "Oh, where?" melt into tears of 1,000 streams and deluge the word with the flood of the assurance, "I am." Also in chapter 13 in Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that this body is a field, He explains that the field and the knower of the field both exist in a mystical union, and that the presence of the Lord in the body can be experienced as playing various roles at the different levels of consciousness, such as an observer, experiencer, sustainer, controller, spectator, and the silent witness of all activities. The indwelling soul observes every single wisp of thought that flashes through our mind and acts as a guide to the individual, indicating what is right and what is wrong, what should be done and what should be avoided. The indwelling soul helps in making decisions that are in peace and harmony with others. He always suggests and then steps back for us to decide. Human beings are free in choice of their actions, but definitely bound by the good or bad results. With regular practice of meditation and daily prayers, we are introduced to our essential nature as the knower of the field, and we live as a spectator, as a witness, and give ourselves a chance for self-analysis, self-improvement, and that is when the real education begins. Self-realization is to be able to realize the self as the witness of all activities. This is the meaning of famous aphorism, "Know thyself." For a Hindu, God is a living reality, and there is a constant effort to stay aligned with the source. Become alert about the activities of mind and body. Make right choices at the right time. Feel relaxed and gradually resume our identity with the Supreme Parabrahmn. It is very important to remember that human life is a great gift of God. It is only in human life that we get an opportunity for self-analysis, self-realization, liberation, and moksha. That's why, for a Hindu, every little bit of activity is centered in God. People have shrines at home, at workplaces, schools, and hospitals. There are rituals to bless a new car, a new house, and businesses. People greet each other with words Namaste, meaning the one in me salutes and bows to the one in you. It is honoring divinity in others, which promotes cosmic intimacy and brings people closer to each other in a relaxed spiritual bond. In an effort to maintain inner unity with the soul, the performance of certain rituals starts right from the day when mother conceives the baby. There is a special worship during the pregnancy, and within few days after the birth of baby, the infant is blessed with special mantra, Tvam Vedosi Ti, meaning, "O dear child, you are the embodiment of all knowledge." The father of the baby also writes Om on the lips of the newborn with gold or silver spoon while repeating the holy syllable Om accompanied by the celestial sound of conches. Every child is spiritually initiated at the age of 6 or 7 and given personal mantra, which helps him to stay connected with the source and become receptive to the guidance of the indwelling soul. Later in life, the youngster learns several mantras and prayers from his parents and learns about yoga and meditation from spiritual teachers and is constantly reminded during all important rituals to stay aligned with the primordial sound of the holy syllable Om. Also, the rituals performed on almost all the Hindu festivals are intended to purify the individual and prepare him step by step to transcend the limitations of mind and body and to live in the blissful state of Sat Chit Anand, means truth, awareness, and total bliss. Sat Chit Anand, that describes the concept of God in Vedic literature, has been beautifully explained by Mahatma Gandhi. He always said that staying firm on truth leads to increased awareness of the self, and self-awareness leads to infinite bliss. God combines all the three. That's why God is addressed as Sat Chit Anand. Be truthful and let the absolute truth be revealed to you. There are some powerful religious symbols used in Hindu rituals and meditation. These symbols present the totality of the Supreme Soul and also the path leading to the alignment with the indwelling soul, gods and goddesses, and the cosmic bodies. The holy syllable Om is the most well-known symbol in Hinduism, explaining the omniscience of the supreme power and the cosmic cycle of creation, sustenance, and destruction. Sound of Om is the first expressive aspect of pure consciousness. The primordial sound of Om, which is believed to be the whisper from the unified field of consciousness to itself, has the power to awaken within the mind the corresponding God consciousness and thus prepare the mind for yogic unity in silence. Other popular symbols used in meditation and ritualistic worships are the swastika, dharam chakra, shri chakra, and shaligrama. Swastika comes from the word swasti, means all auspicious. It represents the omniscience of the great pervasive intelligence that prevails at the substratum of the entire creation. Symbol of swastika represents the symbol of Om, written in Brahmi Lipi, one of the very old scripts of ancient India. Dharam chakra represents the wholeness of the divine. It is symbolic of the eternal cosmic law that everything we see is going through an evolution. Wheel also represents the universal field of energy and information, always in motion. Similarly, the symbol of Nataraja The dramatic dancing posture of Shiva, with ring of flames all around the figure, indicates the pulsating rhythm of cosmic energy, which has no beginning and no end. Another popular symbol, Shri Chakra, is a geometrical diagram with a star at center, which leads the aspirant to the shrine of heart, where seated under the wish-granting tree, Kalpataru, the individual goes in unity with the Divine Mother. Shaligrama is a black rounded stone with a natural hole showing visible spirals inside, which indicates that the true nature of the soul is veiled in many layers of conditioned consciousness and is indeed very difficult to comprehend. Shaligrama is supposed to be endowed with mysterious powers. Those guide the individual for unity in transcendence and desire for selfless service to the divine. There are also some symbols visualized only in chakra meditation along the spine, as the consciousness is guided to move upward from the bottom of the spine to the crown chakra at the top of the head. The symbol and color of each chakra becomes clear in meditation while monitoring the breath and remaining tuned to the sound of Bij mantra at each psychic station. So, I can conclude with words that essence of all life is God. Each and every one of us is a potential candidate for divine status. It should be our endeavor to stay aligned with the Source, receive guidance from the indwelling soul, and live in peace and harmony with our own inner self, with other people in society, and with nature. Let the inherent divinity manifest itself in our thoughts, words, and deeds. Our relationship with Divine is perennial. It just needs to be experienced, called out, and then it starts manifesting through us. Again, some beautiful lines from Gitanjali by Rabindranath Tagore. Through birth and death, in this world or in others, wherever thou leadest me, it's thou, the same, the one companion of my endless life, whoever linkest my heart with the bonds of joy to the unfamiliar. When one knows thee, then alien there is none, then no door is shut. Oh, grant me my prayer, that I may never lose the bliss of thy touch, of the one in the play of many.